Alright, I've been way distracted, but it's time to get back to my build videos. And in this build video, we're going to be talking about my ceiling up there. Which, some things about it have worked out, and other things, you know, if I had to do again, I'd do it differently. It's nothing I want to rip apart right now. So for my ceiling, I needed to figure out how to do it the most efficiently by myself. And so I had a particular idea about how to do that. And so, like, looking at my old footage, I think Dawn from the past can talk it through a little bit. Alright, so I started the ceiling project yesterday and got this ceiling panel up. I started with rivets, which are kind of hard to see, but there's rivets right here, which I did with a rivet tool, and it seemed to be working. Until it didn't. It actually broke, and after that, I transferred to sheet metal screws, which you can see, like, here's one of them right here, but that's kind of big, so I did go and get some smaller sheet metal screws, and basically, I didn't see the point in buying another rivet tool, as I broke two of them. One while I was trying to do sort of a proof of concept thing, and then one while I was actually putting the ceiling up. So what I'm going to do to finish off the ceiling is I am going to just do it all with sheet metal screws and glue everything up. That's another thing I'm doing, is I'm gluing the panel up, and then I basically have these pieces of wood that I'm propping under it until I get it attached enough. There's still some corners and areas I need to hit. Obviously, I had to cut out the hole for here, and then I had to cut out a hole over there for a cable pass-through. That's still a work in process that I have plans for. And so this is basically a sheet that comes in 4x8 that I had to cut down in order to fit it up there. And I have two more of these sheets. But as you can see, this is a project panel. And it goes to about right there. Now right here, just because I need this as an access point, is just foam that I can pull out that's covered in the same contact paper that I used in the front. But visually it just blends. This is going to be a garage area, which is why the wall also ends here and then turns into this white wall. There's going to be a wall that's built between these two things. So there's a wall that'll end here, and then there'll be garage about this much out. And some people are going to tell me I'm going to need more garage. I think it's going to work out fine for what I want to do. But I want this ceiling panel accessible, so I basically just took some foam board that's pretty thin. There's actually an air gap there, and I can pull this stuff out and put it back with no problem. If the contact paper gets ripped up, I have plenty of extra. I'll just replace it. As you can see, that's already happening on the back door where this is happening. I don't know if it's scraping against stuff when it's opening and closing. I also bought extra of this because I expected it to tear up at some point. For what it needs to do, which is just make this back door look prettier, I'm not super stressed about it. It looks fine in effect, which is honestly more what I care about than it being perfectly perfect just for what this area is going to be. Because like I said, there's actually going to be a wall in front of it with a doorway. And so you'll just get this effect of the trees behind that. And that'll be pretty cool, I think. So just to say it, I still have a rivet tool. This was the last rivet tool I bought, thinking I was still going to do the rivet idea, and I have literally never used this. This is a nicer one than the cheap ones I was picking up at Home Depot, namely the ones that broke. But right now I own a tool I've literally never used, but if I ever did build a box truck again, maybe in a few years I will. I think there's no reason this truck won't last quite a few years, and you know, by that time maybe I'll be able to buy another box truck. That would be my goal, and to use some of what I did in this box truck in the next box truck. That's kind of the format I've fallen in love with. I don't really see me getting out of it. So yeah, with half of the ceiling done, I needed to go ahead and finish the rest of it. It was something that was really difficult to record and get the pieces into the truck and get them set. So I don't honestly have as much footage as I would like, but let's talk about it a little bit. So Max fans come with these really, really deep trim pieces, and the idea is you're able to cut the trim piece down to whatever length that you need it to. I'd already done my measurement, so before I started the other part of the ceiling, I also got this trim piece ready to be installed once the ceiling went up. So I have to say, one of the tools I've gotten a heck of a lot of use out of is my jigsaw. I have used my jigsaw for so many things, and it has shocked me how much I have used it. There have been some tools where I'm like, this was a waste of money, I could have rented it, I used it once, but that jigsaw, man, I was using that all the time. And this was just another one of those odd instances that was the tool to put out. I wasn't sure about the safest way to do it, so I just kind of rigged up a way to do it and went with it. Now, I never found a great camera position to show me putting in the ceiling, and honestly, this piece of prop wood kind of worked, but also kind of didn't work, and I had to end up altering the pieces in ways I didn't plan on, just to be able to get them up myself without any help. Also, if I could go back and do this again, I would have actually put in some more wood furring strips instead of trying to set the project board directly into the metal ribs that come down from the ceiling that were built into part of the box truck, because this was more than a little bit of a disaster, and my ceiling to this day is very much perfectly imperfect. So like I said, in the front, I basically had two foam panels covered in a wood-looking contact paper, and I pulled those out so that I could set up the fan, set the wire, all of that. So the last step into finishing up my ceiling was getting all the wires set, getting the trim piece set, getting everything into place, and putting it all back together. So yeah, that's about it. That was the adventures in putting up my ceiling. The panel board, which in my head seemed like a really logical idea. It was a way to put, you know, a bunch of ceiling coverage on a large amount of space with the least amount of pieces to attach, was way more difficult than I thought it would be. I definitely would, instead of trying to go directly into the metal ribs, use wood furring strips in the future. It was way more difficult than I thought it was going to be. It seemed like the smartest idea. My ceiling's a little weird because of it, but it's nothing that actually hurts the functionality of living in here. It's just a little quirk that my ceiling has, just like this box truck in general has a lot of quirks that is just about me. And what I had to do at the time to get things done. That being said, I do really like project board, because for the vertical situations, like I have the exact same project board that's on my ceiling, also in a couple of other places, including the other side of my now constructed garage wall, which I will be doing a video of in the future. It's really nice for getting that done in one go and just having coverage on it without it being too involved. Is it the most high-end, gonna last forever choice? No. Is it an easy choice to get some sort of aesthetic that may not be perfect but good enough? Absolutely. So I don't regret the places that I used it. I just don't know if I would use it on a ceiling in the same way again. I don't think I have anything else to say about the ceiling. I know what you guys are going to say. You always say it. Where's Mickey? Not just this picture of Mickey on my desktop. This is baby Mickey. Look how little he was. Oh my goodness, he's so little. But where's the real Mickey? Let's show you that, and then let's get out of here. Mickey has such a hard life as a box truck cat. I mean, obviously, he's very tortured and badly taken care of, and I am cheating him in his very relaxed life right now by raising him in a box truck. I'm such a terrible owner. Hashtag sarcasm. Thank you for joining me for yet another video. As usual, right about now, I remind you to do all those things that you do on YouTube to support your favorite video makers, and that's hitting that thumbs up, leaving comments in the comment section, and subscribing to the channel, and watching ads occasionally. I mean, some people know, some people don't, so I'm doing my due diligence to try to serve YouTube's algorithm. I just want to thank everyone who sticks around to the end of videos, all the people who support me on Patreon, all the people who support me on YouTube memberships, and I hope everybody is setting up to have a pleasant and beautiful holiday. See you in the next video.